Hi, my name is Olivia Herron, and my HGS capstone project this year is about the national parks and how minorities face many challenges when it comes to accessibility to the parks. The arch above Yellowstone National Park reads, "For the benefit and enjoyment of the people." This was said by Theodore Roosevelt. Is the statement still relevant today? The current challenge the parks face is the lack of minority inclusion. Many minorities don't visit the national parks because of the lack of diversity, lack of history, lack of transportation, personal accounts of fear or discrimination, long work hours, little to no vacation time, and a lack of awareness. These are key factors that contribute to the high number of white park visitors. However, there are some solutions that can help bridge the gap. One step that the parks can do to make the parks more accessible to everyone is by having better transportation efforts. There are limited transportation efforts to get to the national parks due to the distance. Therefore, more options for public transportation would be beneficial to people in minority communities. Another solution for the National Park Service is for them to advertise themselves more and create more diverse events that celebrate diversity in minority communities, like Black History Month or Hispanic Heritage Month. The final solution is for the national parks to receive increased funding. Increased funding to the national parks would help reduce the high entrance fees per vehicle. For the interview part of my capstone, I interviewed Ms. Tiana Jones and Ms. Grace Lee. Ms. Jones worked for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and is a project manager and environmental oversight manager in California. Ms. Lee is the executive director of the National Park Trust. I chose to interview Ms. Lee and Ms. Jones because they are both women of color who can give me an inside look as to what they've seen in the parks over the years. Ms. Jones and I primarily talked about how long this issue is taking to be resolved. She explained to me that this was not a conversation we should still be having, and it might take 10 to 15 years for the issue to be resolved. Ms. Lee and I talked about the Buddy Bison program and how it's been hard to hire people of color. She said that people of color typically don't sign up for jobs in the environmental field because of history. She said this was the reason it's been hard for parks to create a diverse staff. For the experiential part of my project, I reached out to the Bullis Lower School because I wanted to work with the 5th and 4th graders to educate them in the importance of the national parks. I worked closely with Mrs. Andriotis and 2 4th grade teachers, Ms. Jacoby and Ms. Maisie, to create a fun and engaging class. My overall goal was to inspire some of the students to care about the environment. Throughout my lesson, I talked about the official definition of a national park so they would know why they are important, and I talked about the National Park Service symbol so that they could identify it in the future. I then talked about my personal experience growing up in a family where we took trips to the national park frequently. The next topic we talked about was the lack of minority inclusion in the parks. I had the students guess reasons why some groups are excluded from the park, even though they are open and available to everyone. The last activity I did with students was pick a park activity. The 4th graders had to pick a park and tell me why they wanted to go there. I thought this would be a good activity to inspire them to go there in the future. There are many outreach programs that focus towards all age groups. The primary focus of these programs is to inspire kids, teens, and adults to care about the environment and enjoy nature. The Youth Conservation Corps program is a subprogram of the National Park Service and gives teens 15 to 18 a paid summer job to work in the environmental field. The main goal of the program is to gather teens that already care about the environment. The Buddy Bison program focuses on kids who, outside of school, do not have the resources and/or opportunity to go outside and be active in the park. Their goal is to inspire kids in fun ways that include educating the kids in STEM and park stewardship. Every Kid Outdoors is a program that focuses on 4th graders from ages 9 to 11. The program is meant to increase access to kids and families that do not normally have the opportunity to visit the parks. The program focuses on 4th graders because they are easily influenced since the age they start learning about the environment. I would like to thank the following people for their continued support throughout my project. Thank you to Dr. Remind, my teacher, Ms. Losell, my mentor, Ms. Tiana Jones Elamine, Ms. Grace Lee, My two interviewees, Mrs. Jacoby and Miss Maisie, the two fourth grade teacher, and Mrs. Andriotis, the head of the lower school. Thank you.